Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nayri, also known as Wedding Fashion Expert. This week we are talking about custom-made wedding dresses and the difference between pricing and is it cheaper to have a gown you saw in store made versus buying the dress that you saw in store. Before we dive into this week's topic, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, drop a comment below, let me know if there's any particular topics or content you'd like me to create for you. I am here for you, guiding you along the way leading up to your special day. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. I am so honored that you have found me. I am, of course, a wedding fashion expert, stylist, buyer, wears so many different hats at LOVELLA Bridal, located in Los Angeles, California. For daily content, follow us on Instagram at LOVELLA Bridal, at LOVELLA Plus, and at Wedding Fashion Expert. You'll also want to give us a follow on TikTok for daily content at LOVELLA Bridal and at Wedding Fashion Expert as well. Lately, we have had so many brides coming back to us at LOVELLA that had been in our store previously for the dress shopping experience. They came in, found a favorite, felt that it was more money than they wanted to spend, and thought that it would be a great idea to go have the dress made for less. So essentially finding a dressmaker to make them something similar to the dress that they tried on in store. I totally understand why brides would think that this is something that they'd love to consider. However, these brides, like I mentioned in the beginning, have been coming back in store because the dressmaking process has not gone according to plan for numerous reasons. I want to be clear, in the dresses that you are trying on in store, these gowns are manufactured beautifully. A dressmaker who's making custom dresses here and there, it's not to say it's a bad thing. I think that that's something great if you want to design that with that particular person. But if you are trying to have something made that you've already seen because you want to save on cost, it's not going to end well for a number of reasons. One, you've seen the dress that you love. You have something to compare it to. Versus if you were having something completely from scratch made that you had not previously tried on, it's a completely new vision that you and that person are collaborating on together, different thing. But you have a benchmark of comparison. And what you tried on in store is going to be remarkable quality, fit, fabrics for the price point because the buyers of the store have done the hunting for you. As a buyer of a bridal store, we see so many collections and so many dresses. We handpick the best that we believe represents the best bang for your buck, the best fit, the best styles, the best shapes, the best construction. We do all the homework on your behalf. So when you're coming in and seeing the dresses, we've already sifted out through thousands and thousands of dresses. If you are trying to save money, you actually end up spending more money in the end. And if you are not new to my channel and you've watched my videos, you know that so many brides, it goes one of two ways. If you choose to make the decision based on price and not what you love, two things happen. One, you're walking down the aisle in a gown that you don't love, you don't feel beautiful, you don't feel confident in. Two, you end up actually spending more money because you buy the less expensive item or you try to have that dress made, and then you are coming back to us to try to order the dress. So now you're spending more, but guess what? It's too late. I can't order it for you. This has happened so many times. It's too late and I can't order it for you. At that point in time, you are so limited. There are no options. So now the concept of price is out the window because at this point you're willing to pay anything to be in a gown that you love because nothing is going according to plan. I'm here to help prevent this from happening. Make your life simple, easy, and refreshing. If you find something you love, your time, your energy is valuable. That costs money. You are better off just paying the money for what you saw that you love and you feel beautiful and you feel confident in versus doing all these other acrobatic things to achieve the look that, one, I can guarantee you the fabric's not going to be the same. Most importantly, the fit's not going to be the same. That's one thing that a lot of brides overlook. The fit is so important. The design is one thing, right? Yes, you're paying for the design. You're also paying for the expertise in the fit, the way in which the fabric and the construction conforms and molds to your body, sculpts your body, contours your body. Right? We all have the same body from dress to dress. Our bodies aren't changing as we're trying on dresses. It's all about the dress that's going to highlight the elements of your body that you want to show off, that make you feel that beautiful, that confident self that you want to be on wedding day. If price is a super important deciding factor for you, then you need to go into the store and tell them that you don't want to go past a certain amount. Your stylist will respect that. There are times that I have a bride that says, I want this look at this price. And sometimes I have to say, I'm so sorry, like the look that you want isn't available in that price point. Let me show you, based on the photos that you're showing me, of course, let me show you what I have similar in the price point you want to be in. And if we don't like any of them, at that point in time, you're able to justify spending more because you are starting to get a concrete understanding of what the dollar is buying you and why. If you want something crystal, a big crystal ball gown with huge embellishments at $2,000, it's just not going to happen. You're going to find something that has an embellished top and a very simple bottom. If you want something fully embellished and a lot of detail, you need to have about a $5,000 budget to start. Now, that's not to say that it's not possible to achieve it, and what I consider heavily beaded and how you interpret heavily beaded is completely different. But I'm talking about like Austrian crystals, right? Swarovski crystals, like the bright crystals and embroidery that have a ton of work. So there are certain categories of dresses that are just not available in certain price points. But that doesn't mean you're not going to find a dress that you feel beautiful and confident in. And I'd also like to mention here that you could get those dresses as a sample. So if you were looking to spend a certain amount, you could purchase a sample as a discounted price point to get a higher priced gown for less that could fit it. Now what happens is brides want the sample that a store doesn't want to sell because they just got it in. It's not available for immediate purchase. I promise you, you will save so much of your stress, worry, concern, energy. Your time is truly money. You will save so much if you just go with the decision of the gown that you love and the dress that you fell in love with versus trying to go on price and trying to compromise. Because by you going and having a dress made that you've already seen and that you loved, you are compromising and you are depriving yourself of having the dress that you want to be in and the wedding look that you want to have to marry your special person in. When you put that dress on wedding day, it sets a tone, a mood, an energy, and lights up the way in which you carry yourself throughout the day. You deserve to be in the gown that you love. Don't make your life more complicated. If you want to get something made because you can't find anything out there that you love, that's a whole different thing because you are starting from scratch with the person that's making that dress. Again, you wouldn't have a marker of a comparison to compare the finished product to. Doesn't mean you're gonna love it because the bottom line is when you're getting something custom made, what you envision and what the designer and the dressmaker envisions could be two completely different things. And for that reason is why at Lovella, we actually discourage customizations being made on existing gowns brides are seeing. Because in the past, when we did do a lot of custom changes, we had brides that were so disappointed. And that's the crazy part to me, is that we were making custom changes to dresses that brides actually saw. They had it on. So it's not like there was a lot to be left to the imagination. And yet, things still got lost in translation from what the bride thought she would have and what the designer created based on what the bride had said. So that alone, me seeing so many brides disappointed with the custom changes we made, having a dress made from scratch is a big no-no in my eyes because of that. Because if I have so many brides annually that don't like the custom changes to the point where we do not encourage custom changes to be done at Lovella, that says a lot in and of itself, let alone getting a dress made from scratch. Obviously, this decision is entirely up to you, and this is just food for thought for you to consider from experience, from talking to brides for over a decade and watching brides make this mistake over and over and over again annually. Even when I tell them how it's going to unfold, they still don't listen. And it's not necessarily the bride doesn't listen, but it's a lot of the voices around them, right? The people that are telling them, this is what you should do, this is how you should do it, trust me. I'm telling you as an expert, definitely don't do it. But if you have any additional questions on this topic, drop me a comment below and I am happy to answer it for you. I hope that you found this video helpful, and for more videos and tips like these, please be sure to tune in every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I will see you in next week's video.